Hey guys, this is Real Men Talk Shit Patreon show 3. We still have yet to come up with a name, brought to you guys by Toner. We're with Josh and Myth as always. How the hell have you guys been?
Phenomenal.
Good.
No complaints. Been spending the whole day playing Minecraft pretty much.
I think
Getting
both
ready
of
for
you
the
guys
streams.
have.
That and trading, yeah.
I've been doing mad Minecraft, getting ready for the stream this week, trying to get ready to fight an entire army of withers, but it's a story for another day. It's a story for Twitch.
I've been playing a shit ton of that Pokemon game and fucking loving every second of it.
Pokemon game.
Yeah.
Yep. Which
I
one
got
are you
Pokemon
playing?
Legends Arceus.
Oh
From
yeah,
the
yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah, is it
Yeah.
sick?
It's fucking awesome.
I
Man.
thought you meant Yu-Gi-Oh! How stupid am I? I was like, hey, you think you mean the Master Duels? And then I was like, oh wait, no, he's talking about Pokemon that just came out.
Yeah.
I was
That
told it's a
game's-
different era, right? My brother-in-law was telling me he thinks it's sick, a real fresh take on it, you know?
It's a fucking blast. I hope that they end up fixing like competitive dueling and that competitive battles and that shit because that shit's fun too.
Is it broken?
You can't like if me and you wanted to battle, we couldn't battle. It's completely one off.
It's kind of weird for
Yeah.
the tradition of Pokemon. It's very strange.
So that part's kind of weird, but the game is a fucking blast. I've been streaming it literally for the past 2 days.
Can you trade with other
You
players?
could trade, but you can't battle. There's no battling. Which is fucking
So wait,
weird.
I just now thought about this. Is this Legends one? Is this a standalone game that doesn't have a pairing that requires trading like Red and Blue and
So
Gold,
the
Silver?
entire story of the game is like you play through the history of Hisui, which ends up being Sinnoh. So like Gen 4. So this is like Gen 4, like 70 years beforehand.
right?
So like the actual legends and story of the
Wooden
the game
Pokeballs,
and-
I think I've heard.
Yeah. And then what the fuck was your question? Because I completely lost my train of thought.
Was that game fucking sick? I heard something
It
about
is
wooden
fucking sick.
Pokeballs.
Yeah. But
That's the
whatchamacallit?
overarching point.
So like you're able to trade and you're able to complete the entire Pokédex instead of going through gyms and that kind of stuff because you're just
Okay.
like the world's starting to learn how to interact with Pokemon and see what they are. You're completing the first Pokédex.
Sick,
It's-
man.
Yeah, it's super cool.
Hmm.
It's more like religion based. Like they show like, oh, these are our god Pokemon that take care of this part of the world and all that shit. So it's more or less the like beginnings of the world, which is kind of cool.
I still like
really
Mew
cool.
better. Just saying. I know Arceus or Arceus or Arceus or whatever is the god Pokemon, but I like Mew better.
I think the last Pokemon I played was Gold.
Last one I
It's
played was
been a
Ruby.
very long time ago.
As far as like when it actually came out and keeping up with it, the last one that I played was Ruby version when it came out when I was a little kid.
Yeah.
After that, they turned into like Trashmon and Ring of Keys Pokemon and
That's
started
Gen
looking
5
like
and Gen 6.
Neopets. Neopets and crack. They look like crackhead Neopets now. You know, it's just not the same. Like that first, 2.5, because 3 had some bangers. Don't get me wrong, but like they also had some misses in Gen 3. But those first 2 generation Pokemon look like they'll beat the shit out of you and take your wallet, man. They just don't look the same as they do now, you know? The Electabuzz, that son of a bitch looks like a thug.
Oh,
You
yeah.
would elbow you in the stomach in an alleyway, you know? And Magmar comes up and fucking breaks your neck behind you. And, them sons of bitches look like they fuck you up.
Who
Geodude,
the fuck
don't get me
doesn't
started,
want
man.
a
He's a little
buff ass fire duck?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And
Fuck,
now,
man.
now they like literally were scraping the bad bottom of the barrel so hard that Trashmon. What's that thing
Yeah.
called? Trubbish. Trubbish is a
Trubbish.
Pokemon. If
Well,
you're watching
there's-
this right now and you've never heard of the Pokemon Trubbish, Google
There's
it.
also Cum, which is muck.
Oh god.
That's true. Yeah. I mean, if Ekans is snake backwards and Arbok is cobra backwards, what about Muck? Wait a minute here.
He's
And
purple
Pikachu.
cum.
No, I'm just kidding. Oh, man. You have a good point, though. I think that is what they were getting at. I need to check out that game. I'm hoping to get a Switch next month or like in a few weeks, actually. So I might check that one out.
That game's super fucking awesome.
I also want to play through Breath of the Wild again and hopefully this time learn about the DLC because I've been watching some YouTube videos of the expanded game. And I had no idea that apparently I only beat like 1% of it compared to the full storyline on the downloadable content. So looking to check that out.
I had to delete my entire fucking save file for everything on my Switch.
Why?
That really
So,
sucks.
I turned on my Switch and it's like, will not connect to the internet. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? So I sat there trying for 25 minutes to get it to connect to the internet and it wouldn't. So it's like, reset your entire Switch. So I reset my entire Switch except deleting save data and game data. That didn't work. So I had to
So?
factory reset my entire Switch just to be able to download Legends.
Damn, bro, that sucks. Was it worth it? Was it worth the trade?
The game was fucking awesome.
But probably not worth the trade though. I'd be pissed if I had to trade a bunch of other games' progress for one.
Yeah.
Unless it was just like the gnarliest. I hope it's a sick experience for you then, man, because that's a
What
hard
sucks is
sacrifice.
that was the save data for my kid's first Pokemon game they beat, and I would have loved to have saved everything.
Yeah, of course. It was a classic moment.
But
now you got new Pokemon.
Exactly. The game's fucking beautiful though. Game's fucking beautiful.
I've heard a lot of good reviews about it, man.
It's good.
I don't even know I don't keep up with the Switch or a lot of modern games, so I don't know like what's the hot upcoming releases for the Switch. Is the Smash Brothers community still a really big thing, or is that?
No, that died out.
No, it's still pretty big. Like I have
a little more
friends who are
underground
pretty
now?
into Smash.
To the best of my knowledge, I think Charlie still holds competitions every now and then, so maybe I need to brush up on that. I'm just never any good at fucking combat games. I was really sick of Halo 3 in that era, in that day.
Mm-hmm.
But man, me being 29 now and many years of not holding a controller or a mouse and keyboard, I'm just not the same at any kind of competitive game like that, you know?
Yeah.
I felt the same way about Mortal Kombat. I played, what was the last one? Like Deception and Armageddon and like all the PS2 ones. And then all of a sudden I got the trilogy on PS5 because they gave one of them away for free. They gave one of them away on PlayStation Plus like 2 years ago. And then I bought 11. And I'm just absolute garbage at it. And I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Yep.
Yeah.
It just fucking hurts.
I think it's like after you turn 23 or something like that, on average, you lose like fractions of a second on your reflexes every year. And that's why, like, legitimately in the super hardcore competitive pro gaming, there's not anybody over, 25, 26, because there's no way to avoid it. You will start losing ability in a completely natural and impossible to defeat way. So it's too late for me. I'm never going to be, the grandmaster at Overwatch, but I have learned that you can learn. I know that sounded really dumb, but bosses on RuneScape that I remember thinking were completely impossible that, now I can do with my eyes closed. So, I mean, We're humans. We adapt. We can learn. Maybe I should just keep practicing. But I also don't have the temper. Like with Overwatch, after, 7 games, if I get shit on 7 games in a row, I'm fucking tired of playing it. And I just don't have the addiction to that game to grind hard enough to get good at it,
Yeah.
Well, I don't think like reflex shooters like that and Call of Duty and stuff. Yes, you can learn patterns. Yes, you can learn how people move and how guns react and everything else. But in the end, it's still just a reaction-based shooter.
Yeah.
You can only do so much.
Especially at the top level. Like,
Yep. Fractions matter of a second.
Mm-hmm.
Fractions of a second matter at their level, Yet another reason I'm not even trying to get into League of Legends. And also Charlie told me there was a huge learning curve on it. He was like, you might as well not even bother. He said it's a huge learning curve and it's super toxic. And considering you've been to prison for toxicity, my guy, not sure it's the game for Josh.
Yeah.
You could try Pokemon
I think I played
Unite.
it like once.
Unite? I think, was it you or my brother-in-laws or both that were telling me about that? I wonder.
I think it was Verlisify that was telling us about it.
Probably.
It's
that
like a
Pokemon
sense. MMO. It's very similar to League, but it's Pokemon.
Oh, yeah, we were talking about that. He was saying that he'd been playing it a lot, right?
Yeah.
Yes, I do recall. I've been having fun playing Master Duel, but that shit is surrender simulator like no other game that I've ever played in my life. I'm guilty of it, too.
We got to get you a deck built.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still using the Dragon one, and I've gotten some more, and so I was like, you know what? Okay, everybody's whooping my ass. Maybe I just need to. So I got like $11 worth of gems, right? And I got 10 packs of cards. I was like, maybe this will help. Because I don't do pay to win on games. So I thought $11 isn't that big of a deal. Clearly, these people have something going on that I don't have going on with my deck. I guess this is the key. So I spent $11. I was halfway through opening them. My wife called me and I closed them. And I don't think I got the rest of the packs of cards. I'd only opened like 3 or 4 of them. And I don't know where to find them. And I can't get back to them. And I have no idea where the fuck they went. But anyways, that shit is surrender fest. I surrender all the time too. I don't like learning super advanced mechanics anyways. And these sons of bitches, if I don't go first, they'll be out here and whoopah, card hits. Link, chain, whoopah, summon, ZW, whoopah. And they're like 77 turns before I even get to go. And then by the time that I go, they got like something with 7,300 attack and fucking 5,000 defense, Mectron Incorporated, blue, black eyes, fucking cockeyed, super dragon, mech, scape. And I'm like, what the fuck is this thing? I got Lord of D. Can I play Lord of D? Does that count? Because that, I don't know, man. Maybe it's just too far gone for me nowadays. But
I feel
obviously, we
like
didn't play it right when we were kids. I know how it works.
I feel like that's the part of Yu-Gi-Oh that I won't like, is like the RNG of just drawing your cards, because like chess is just completely skill based. There's no RNG at all.
Right.
And I've taken Murph down the dark side. I've got Murph grinding hard in chess. He's been improving a lot. So that's been fun. I bet I need to get you into chess, Josh, at some point.
I'm awful at it. If you can find somebody that's as bad as me to where there's actually like a remotely reasonable chance that there's a 50-50 chance, then maybe I'll have fun. But at this point, I'm so bad, there's no living human that doesn't snatch it, like just completely destroy my game. So it's not really very fun. You know what I'm saying? For me, like, it's not that I'm a sore loser, but again, it's like 9 times in a row or something like that. Like, I'm just like, I'm not seeing improvement. So that's the thing with me. I don't care about losing. I just want to see improvement. If I'm not seeing improvement, then I lose motivation quickly.
Yeah.
And at chess, I'm bad. I know how all the pieces move, but man, I'm fucking shit at chess, bro, because I just got a short attention span. I'm too hyper.
Yeah.
I guess, I'll be over here like thinking maybe 3 moves ahead. Maybe if I'm playing the long game, I'm like, okay, after this move, I'm gonna do this. That's my long game. So that's why I'm no good at chess.
Zach's really good at calculating, but with his like ADHD, he hyper focuses on like parts of the board and misses like attacks.
I'm guilty of that too. If my plan starts working, what I'm trying to do, I lose focus on the other shit that's going around it because I'm so focused on, and then I'll make a sacrifice that like defeats the point of my whole move. Yeah, because I was so focused on it's working. He doesn't know what I'm up to. He's not gonna block this shit. He has no idea. He walked right into it. Oh fuck, he got my queen. You know what I'm saying? That's me too. Trust me, Zach. I feel you, dude.
Yeah, he's like, you played completely theory there, and I'm like, there's no way in hell. He's like, yeah, you're actually pretty good. And then you hyper focused on your queen, and then lost every other piece around it.
He was like, this is the tank concept. This one piece is OP since the last update. And before they nerf it, he was just trying to ride just the queen. That was it. Before the nerf, he was trying to get it in before the next patch,
Yeah.
In
1,000 years, maybe.
I told you that one time that dude was talking shit about how he was going to teach me to play some chess, and I told him I was horrible, and he said I can't be that bad. And I walked into that trap you talked about. It's like 2 moves or 3 moves and checkmate. And I was like, I just remember sitting there looking at the board, and I was like, I didn't know that was a thing. I really can't get out of this. Like, I'm sitting there looking, I'm like, that's really a checkmate. That's not a check. Holy shit, that was 3 moves or something.
Yeah, fools, mate.
I quit.
Yeah.
I quit. Good job. You win. Here's my noodle. I'm just kidding. I would not gamble on that. I did gamble. I gambled on spades a lot, but not which is funny because that's RNG based. But
yeah, spades is fun though.
I guess that there's always going to be a balance. There's a lot of games that are totally strategy based, and there's some that are totally RNG based, and then you got the mixture of both.
Yeah. Well, there's also some that you can completely edit how consistent what you're doing is and everything else.
Yeah.
Like competitive Pokemon, you could do that. Competitive Yu-Gi-Oh, you could do that. You
even
can make it so that way half your deck is starters, and it's pretty easy to draw into it.
Like that's poker, you play for an edge, like a statistical advantage. Rather, even though you obviously can't control what cards you get and what cards go on the board, but you're playing for a statistical advantage.
You know something? Whenever I was locked up, man, I realized I always thought that everybody who brags about being good at poker is an idiot, the same way that dudes in jail and prison brag about, man, I'm going to take all your money shooting dice. Like, you are statistically just as likely to win as I am. You know what I mean? Like, with rolling dice, okay? I thought much the same for poker. I was big wrong. Because the dudes in there that are like hardcore, the poker guys, I remember sitting in there one night just chilling with the dudes while he was showing a younger dude how he plays poker, And they were just playing some play rounds, and just low stamp money and all this. And this dude sat there. And the little dude like put up, he matched his bet and raised him a little bit, and the dude raised him. He called him or whatever, and they went back and forth a little bit, and the dude kept matching him. When he got done, he explained it so well. He's like, "Listen, man, I played like 9 rounds with you, right? You never once called me whenever I pushed in like that. So this is how you did this, this, and this, and this. And this is your first time with a good hand, and it's not that good, but you're pushing just in case." And like laid it all out and took all the dude's money, even though it was just a small amount. And that's where the skill came in. He had been sitting there watching this dude and watching his moves so good and paying attention to his play style to where when he acted a little bit differently, he knew he had grease. And he even said, I think you're the type to where if you would have had a really good one, you would have put in hot. so it's not that good. You put in a little bit trying to check me out and make me fold, but I had some smoke, so I smoked your ass. I was like, okay, now I see it. Now I see where the skill comes in, and that's the kind of thing,
How I learned poker was I played full tilt poker at like fucking 13. So I played tournaments in poker. Oh, you go all in the first couple hands. Just see if you're able to get a money advantage. Once you get a money advantage, then you just push everybody else out of the game. So I learned very quickly. You can ask Myth. If I get a chip lead, there's no way you're playing a hand because I'll just push you right out of the game.
Yeah.
We saw it like 2 or 3
big
times.
Money advantage.
Yep. You just get 2 or 3 hands worth of chips, and then all of a sudden you just slowly push everybody else out of the game.
You're betting too heavy for him.
Yep.
All of a sudden you bet 5% and somebody's got to go all in to match you.
Which is like the difference between tournament play and like a cash game. Because a cash game, you can re-up and match the top stack. And so they don't have that advantage. But in a tournament game, you have the chips that you start with.
Right. Yeah, I wasn't very good at poker.
Yeah, it takes a lot of studying, and like you need to know your ranges and your cards, and there's so many different variables. It just comes with
spades. I studied spades super hard, and that again, that's one of the games that I feel like is a game that is, of course, RNG at its root, but then must be executed correctly. I've seen too many horrible spades players completely throw a hand that 100% would have been easily winnable just because they don't know how to handle it. So
yeah.
That's pretty much those guys are me at chess. I flail in the water. My queen comes out quick and disappears immediately. My horsey jumps out, does a fat L, does another one, and then gets taken by a pawn because it was 2 jumps away and I didn't notice. Sitting at an angle, and then it's pretty much over with. And then somebody does something I've never heard of. They're like, I'm going to do this knight or whatever it's called and swap these, and then I'm dead.
Castling, yeah.
GG's. Castling, yeah. They say I'm going to castle, and then I'm okay. I'm going
to. You get castled into checkmate, and then you say, "Oh fuck."
You'll blow your mind when you learn about en passant.
I'm gonna say is that the thing where you swap them?
It's when you get if a pawn is pushed past you, then you can take it by going behind it.
Right. I remember the en passant. Yeah, I was about to say something with pawns, right? But again, that's another technique that I don't have up my sleeve that will result in my throat getting cut when I'm playing chess. Something that I don't really know much about.
Don't forget about el baguette.
El baguette.
The bread.
He's just making up shit.
Don't forget the bread. I speak French. Exactly. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
We surrender. No, I'm just kidding.
With a last name like that, you would assume you speak French fluently.
Shit, you're right. But unfortunately, it's a bastardized Cajun French last name, so it doesn't quite count. It's the American French one, And it's technically not my birth last name, I guess, also. So it's not even like my grandfather through my dad spoke only French until he was 5. By the time he was 15, he didn't remember it. So,
do lots of people still speak French in New Orleans?
I don't go out much, bro. I haven't really done anything much here, but I know that they do. Yeah, I know that in the French Quarter specifically, I know that they do.
Yeah.
And I've seen a lot of people speaking like Gullah and stuff like that. It's definitely a super melting pot here, as it historically has been for 300 years or whatever. But also
some people call it a salad bowl.
So, sports ball reference.
No, I was saying that it was a salad bowl because it gets
because it's literally a bowl.
Yeah.
Wow.
And because there's a lot of.
I thought you were gonna say like a water bowl, dog bowl, maybe.
My stepdad has a timeshare out there. If we ever go out there again, we'll have to meet up.
Hell yeah, let's go kick it. New Orleans is probably crazy. I don't know because I'm busy all the time. I just stay at the house on my computer.
The food there is so
COVID,
fucking good, though.
Yeah, and they're pretty gnarly about the COVID here too. And like, even though I was vaccinated, whenever we went downtown one time, I didn't have it with me and I couldn't go anywhere. So I was just walking around with my wife and I'm like, all right, well, we didn't have our stuff.
My wife's like, we're moving the fuck out of New York. I said, okay, it's tax time. When you want to move?
Let's beat it. Well, it's not fun not being able to go anywhere on Bourbon Street in New Orleans because all you're gonna do is get harassed by people trying to sell you drugs or or like bum money off of you or cigarettes. That's it. Like you're not in somewhere. The only people that aren't in somewhere are the people that are trying to sell drugs, bumming cigarettes, or homeless guys looking for money.
Yeah.
Well, the fucking governor wants to mandate all of the vaccines all the way up until 2. And my wife ended up developing seizures because of the vaccine. So it's like, what's going to happen to our kids?
Yeah.
Like that's our choice, not the governor's choice. Like, go fuck yourself, governor. You weren't even voted in. You were put in because Cuomo was taken out because he only killed grannies and grabbed fannies.
I hopefully there would be some sort of medical exception there. I mean, hopefully it doesn't pass. People should be able to make their own medical decisions, but
I would assume that'll be the case. I still can't picture them barging down somebody's door somewhere and forcing them to do it. Now, as I've said in the past, if you're not allowed to go literally anywhere without it, then it's effectively the same thing as being forced to take it, unless you have a garden, I guess.
Well, New York is so bad with that shit. It's like you have to have it in New York City. You have to have a vaccine to go to the gym, to go to restaurants, to go in and actually go inside places. It's bad.
It's crazy.
I'm glad I don't live in the fucking
How
city.
do they even enforce that? Because like I go to a 24-hour gym, so I'm there at like 3 a.m. because I don't want to be there when other people are there.
Because I assume they have a receptionist for locations like that.
Yeah.
Where it's like, show me your papers.
Yeah, I don't know.
Let me see your thing. Well, here in Louisiana in particular, Omicron variant was ravaging the state for a little while there. Looks like it's a lot better now. And several countries recently came off a lockdown. I actually saw a recent post on the RuneScape subreddit about that. Some dude was logging out in the very first part where you enter the game at Lumbridge in the start of the game with no gear on. He said, guys, they just declared lockdown over in my country. I started at lockdown. I'm going out the way I came in, standing in the Lumbridge with no gear on. Love you guys, man. It's been great. And we were all jealous that he quit because none of us can. Damn, that lucky bastard. He's probably out there doing stuff.
Did you hear the new variant that they came up with?
No,
what's it called?
So. I'm about to walk into a Ligma.
Stealth Omicron.
Yeah, that's right.
What about Shadow Omicron?
Sneaky Omicron.
Sneaky, clever Omicron. I don't
Next,
know. Everything that I've read about the
Megatron.
variant said they don't seem very concerning. So
Yeah, we need Megatron.
the Megatron variant.
Oh, they should have like polls for people to vote on names.
That'd be awesome. Hold it for the public. You already know 4chan would get a hold of it though.
Oh, yeah.
Just like whenever they voted fucking for Moot to be the Times Magazine's Person of the Year, or whatever the hell it was. I don't remember. And they hacked it. They got 4chan infiltrated it so hard that the voting started with Moot, and it said Marble Cake. Also, the game was the acronym for the celebrities that you were able to pick. Marble Cake. Also, the game. Like it was straight up memed out. 100% 4chan from the ground up. Moot, the creator of 4chan, beat Lil Wayne for influential person, and nobody seemed to think anything was weird about this. And he got invited out there and put on the tuxedo, and everybody's like, "Okay, creator of 4chan, welcome to the red carpet."
Oh, dude, 4chan does some great stuff like that. Like, what was it, Bodie McBoatface?
Yep.
When I was on in the original era, I wasn't there during this, but I do clearly remember one of the heartwarming times that something good actually happened.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure this is somewhere out there in the annals of internet history. But I remember a few days after this, learning about it, that a guy had posted pictures or videos, maybe a link to a video, I think, of him abusing his cat.
Oh,
and 4chan, this was when I was a young teenager. MySpace was still popular. And 4chan jumped on MySpace en masse and found this motherfucker's MySpace profile based off of the room he was in the videos where he was hurting this cat.
I think they made a Netflix documentary out of that.
That's not him. That's Luca Magnotta. That guy's a serial killer. That's not, or a murderer, at least. I'm not sure he's a serial killer. He's definitely a murderer. I'm not talking about that guy. No, this didn't happen. Like, this guy didn't, to the best of my knowledge, go to prison. But 4chan found him, found his house, hacked the shit, told the cops. The dude ended up having to move and change his name and all this shit. And if I'm not mistaken, last I heard was before prison 10 years ago. But last I heard, every now and then they were still finding out where this dude was at with his new fake name and posting his shit all over 4chan and ruining this guy's life. And Dusty the cat, as it was appropriately called, was rescued and saved. And
That's nice.
I still remember seeing the memes afterwards. Like I said, I wasn't involved in this, but I was there at the time, And I still remember seeing the memes afterwards. Like somebody posted a picture of the cat looking all sad when it was getting abused in the video. And it said the date of that day that he posted the video. And it said, "It begins." And then another meme of it. It was that meme inside of a meme. And it said the next day's date. And it said, "It ends. Good job, B. We saved the cat." So like every now and then some good shit happened. Every now and then some good shit happened. And I've got a really cool story about some ignorant shit that I did on 4chan back in the day. But we've only got a few minutes left. And maybe I need to save it for the, I don't know. I think maybe we need to save it for the real thing because it's actually, you know what? Yeah, I don't need to tell the story right now.
4chan once sent Taylor Swift held a poll to decide what school she would do a live concert at, and they sent her to a deaf school.
Yeah, school for the deaf. I remember reading about that. Yeah, classic.
I never went on 4chan.
Do you know how I found out about it?
How's that?
Oh.
When I was in 8th grade, I was in middle school, and somebody had wrote Boxy is queen or something. Or maybe it was Chloe at this time. I think it was Boxy is queen. And then somebody had written in a different marker, clearly, different handwriting, a different time, and wrote the /B, in the slashes, /B forever. And so I was like, what the fuck is that? Because it seemed like it was obvious they knew the same thing here. And I was like, what are they? What secret do these guys have that they're writing on these doors? And so I went home and I was Googling /B. And back then, I think you could find about, you probably can now even more so. But and also, it took me forever to realize if you do capital B, it doesn't link you. It doesn't if you're an idiot and you do the capital B, it won't let you in because you're a noob and you don't know the website. But and I got hooked on it. And back then, yes, it was very cruel and it was very gnarly. But this is back before it was, mainstream news, and a bunch of 12-year-olds all flooded the site thinking they're cool because they're on 4chan, And
Now it's
You're
just
lucky
it's
your
cringe
caches didn't get
and trap porn, and that's about it.
Yep, it's a FBI wasp nest full of edgy teenagers that it's just not the same, man. Back then, I just remember being in like 9th grade, dude, and they had like a Rule 34 thread. If you don't know what that is, this is just for the Patreon show, right?
Yeah.
Rule 34, if it exists, there is porn of it. So I remember being in 8th grade and sitting there dying laughing in Microsoft Paint with a fucking picture of a bratwurst sausage, using that shitty drag outline, cutting out this bratwurst sausage to like put on a porn star's face just to make this guy's the Rule 34. He said, I want Rule 34 for bratwurst sausage. And I was like, I got you. And it was the worst looking thing ever. But it was just shit that we were doing just to make each other laugh. It wasn't.
Yeah.
There was no monetization involved. Reddit wasn't stealing our shit yet back then. I remember still when that started, Reddit came in. Because basically, as far as I'm concerned, the concept of what Reddit is with upvotes and downvotes, cool, that's different or whatever. But as far as where they got their fucking boost of becoming the face of the internet was stealing 4chan jokes, man, 100%.
Like all the green text and...
Exactly, dude. That all started, the whole 4chan humor is the internet humor now. That was one of the biggest surprises to me about coming out. And whenever I came out of prison, it's just like all the bold font memes and all that shit. Everybody knows it now. Moms are posting the shit on their Facebooks, meme pictures. It's crazy to me now how mainstream it got. But hell, I forgot what I was even saying about the first part of that, about the mainstreamness of the internet and the humor. But as far as I'm concerned, this is what I was going to say. Reddit, somebody said, you know what? This 4chan shit, this is genius. These guys are all brilliant. This is fucking hysterical. If we could cut out the gore, the porn, the rating, the racism, and the hatred, this would be big money. And that's what they did. So you're welcome, Reddit.
Well, they didn't even cut out the porn. They just cut out the CP, and that's all they needed to do.
Yeah. Well, 4chan cut out the CP as well.
The whole time that I was on there, I don't think I ever once saw any, for what it's worth.
No,
they tweeted about it every fucking post. Don't get me wrong, but I never saw anybody explicitly.
You have to go way back in the day before that started getting moderated, and it still wasn't very relevant because people were getting doxxed over it and everything.
And for what it's worth, also, it must happen though, because whenever I finally got into Tor in like 2010, I remember whenever the Silk Road, whatever was pre-Silk Road, was starting to happen. I think it was Atlantis. I don't remember. But around that era of the deep web, I remember trying to get on 4chan with Tor on, and every single IP is banned for that on when you try to use Tor. So obviously people do it. They get on Tor and then they jump on there and go do it and post it. And I'm sure they get banned and taken down almost immediately. So it happens, but I never saw it in many years of being a regular of that site. I was a 100%. Some of the shit I didn't get down with. I'm not a brony. I never watched My Little Ponies. Down the other day, we were playing it for my daughter and I was cringing my skin off just thinking. I was like, oh my God, it's that. And this is the grown men like this. Fuck's sake. This is
really weird. It was really weird. So my daughter was born and my cousin, who's essentially my brother, was like 14 or 15. And we put on My Little Pony for my oldest daughter. He's like, dude, you watch this shit? You're a brony? I said, fuck no, I'm not a brony.
No, bro.
No, I'm not.
You got it twisted.
He's like, but Pinkie Pie. And I'm like, but no.
Was that a horse? Is that one of the horses?
Yeah.
Oh my God. But Pinkie Pie. That's a pretty good argument, though, I have to say. But Pinkie Pie, that way. When you put it like that, matter of fact, make some room on the couch. I was really cringing, but
"Hmm."
at the same time, I remember noticing while it was playing, I was like, I recognize that. I recognize that horse and that one. Yeah, I remember that one. Yeah, because they were always posting not only plenty of memes from the show, but also plenty of Rule 34 about those
Yep.
particular horses. So it was very hard for Josh to watch this with his not even 2-year-old daughter and be a scarred internet veteran.
That's when you just say fuck it and put on shows that you want to watch too. So you let them watch Family Guy and Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh.
We're trying to do less TV overall in general right now because as soon as we stopped watching as much TV with her or putting on kids stuff for her, her vocabulary exploded and she's been like doing a lot more
nice.
problem solving lately and
Yeah.
stuff. And I'm just like, we're not like, the hippied out, oh, you should never let your kids watch TV or nothing. But it was weird. The different, like the instantaneous difference in her attention level and her, you know,
shit just happens.
Right.
Timing.
Right. Yeah.
Everything is
She just
flipping.
like, instead of, vegging, now she's just been walking around and interacting and it's clearly paying off. So we've been doing it less overall, but hopefully no more fucking My Little Pony because that shit gives me the willies, dude. That website.
Here,
ruined
watch
that
Rocket
for me.
Power and become rad.
All right, she can watch Rocket Power if she wants. She doesn't seem to want. Okay, kid. Like I always thought that kid music and kid cartoons and all that shit was just gimmicky and supposed to be just lowbrow and ditzy filler entertainment. No, for real though, kids kind of only like that shit though. What's up with that? Like if I'm watching something that's interesting to me, like a grown-up show, my daughter pays no attention to it. But as soon as it's funny bunnies and they're over here like and they're bouncing off the wall, she's like,
It
crazy.
depends. Because my oldest, I didn't want to watch Barney. I didn't want to watch Dora. I didn't find that shit entertaining in the slightest.
Right.
The only baby show that she watched was Yo Gabba Gabba, which isn't on TV anymore. Which I found really funny because they had Biz Markie on there. So he sung Just a Friend to little, like, 1-year-olds.
Say he's just a friend.
Which is hilarious to me.
Got what I need.
But she watched all of Digimon, all of Pokemon, all of
That's
the
what I'm
first
talking
season of
about.
Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah.
And my kid was fucking awesome. And watched
There
all
you
the
go.
princess movies, which the princess movies are fucking fun. You're never going to win that fight with a little girl. But
Of course.
the fact that she watched Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! And everything else was cool as fuck.
I got a fun fact for you real quick about Yo Gabba Gabba.
What?
So I would assume you've heard of the band Blink-182, right?
Yep.
Their drummer Travis Barker, right?
Yep.
He was originally on tour with Blink-182 playing drums for a band called the Aquabats, okay? And they were real funny because they were this crazy stage show about this crazy evil villain, and they did this punk rock with this get up, and they play fast-paced punk rock, and obviously if Travis Barker was their drummer, they were playing fast, and it was this huge theatrical show he was in. Well, while they were on tour, they kicked their drummer Scott out for alcoholism out of Blink-182, and they said, hey, Travis, you're an insane drummer. Can you fill in for us tonight? And obviously they had the chemistry, and the rest is history. He ended up leaving the Aquabats. Well, that Aquabats, the punk band that did this big stage show where they had the evil villain lead singer telling the story of the heroes coming forward to save him and all this shit. His real dream was to turn this story into a children's show. Who sees where I'm going here? This is crazy, isn't it? Am I the only one that thinks that's super interesting? The singer of the band that Travis Barker left for Blink-182 is the creator of Yo Gabba Gabba and the mind behind the entire show. And that's the show that he portrays is the same show, the storyline that they used to do on their stage shows with Travis Barker. What the fuck? All right, sorry about that. I just always thought that it's such a crazy fucking fact. What a small world. Like he did his dream. They both did their dream. He's like, I want to be the world's most famous punk drummer. Well, I want to make a children's show and infect millions of kids and teach them funny words and imagination. They both became greats in their field.
And bring Biz Markie on and teach them that when a girl's just a friend.
Does it make a little more sense now? Does it make more sense now, though, that he did that? Because they're hardcore musicians, bro. So that doesn't surprise me at all. That's awesome. I had no idea they did that. Is Biz Markie still alive?
No, Biz Markie died last year.
I thought so. Rest in peace, man. Damn, that's such a good song. I found that song on accident a few years ago because there's a really famous RuneScape player and his name is A Friend. So when I typed in A Friend and the top search was Just a Friend by Biz Markie, and I was like, I want to check this out. And then the video was real funny and, you got what I need. I was like, this shit slaps. It's old school too, man. It's a good jam. Highly recommend.
Fire.
Highly recommend everybody. Biz Markie, Just a Friend. It's a song about it when a girl's playing around on you and she don't want to commit. And I don't have to worry about that no more, but it's still a great song.
When she has 9/10 pants and a very big bra.
And a very big bra. I have to admit, like the way that he talked was kind of funny or weird, but it sounded so good with the music in my opinion.
We're gonna have to watch the Yo Gabba Gabba clip because he has a lisp.
I know, it was very the original one. Is it worse?
So great.
It's really fucking bad. So we're gonna have to watch this clip. This is going to be the end of the show because now we have to go watch Bismarcky on a childish show. We'll see you fucking next time. Thank you.
Have
Tony,
a good
for
one,
coming to
everybody.
check
We
us
love
out.
you,
Have a good
Patreon.
one, man.
We'll see you fucking later.